0101 list question, algorithm, whatever you want to call it. So let's just say we have a random assortment of lists here. Let's say 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so we have a random assortment here, and we want to basically sort this into where we have zeros on the left or ones on the right. Okay, so that's how we want to sort this basically, or we want to sort this to where we have ones on the left and zeros on the right. So we basically just want to sort this to where we have zeros on one side, ones on the other. And we want to do it in the least amount of sorting possible. For this particular question though, I'm just going to sort it in general instead of doing the least amount possible, just to cover this part of the algorithm. Okay? And obviously I'm going to do this in code using Python, but I just wanted to show you what the question was. So if we have, for instance, we iterate this way, and we see that we have a 1, we want to basically move that 1 and replace the zero's position with that 1. And then the 1 will be here, and then we would do that back and forth where we would once again replace, once again replace, until we have them all on one side. Okay? So that's basically what this algorithm consists of. So I look forward to showing it to you using Python and see you over at the computer.
All right, guys. So we're going to do the binary sorting list algorithm again. So first, let's define a function of main. So let me go and do find main. And basically, what I'm going to do here is just um, this is basically going to be the entire function. So I'm going to basically just put it all in one function. It's a very simple algorithm, but just stick with me here. I'm going to walk through it and everything for you. So we're going to have an incoming list, like so. And so first, let me write a comment here. Sort whether is a 0 in the first spot. Because we want to do the least amount of sorts possible. So if there's a 1 that starts on the first index, then we want to do that one first. So let me see here. So I'll just say starts 0. We'll just set that equal to false. And if coming list of 0 is equal to 1, and it starts with 0, or starts with 0 should be true. Is equal to 1 and starts with 0 should be false. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to actually iterate through the list and swap depending on whether the first index is a 0 and the second index is a 1 and vice versa. So this index is a 0. And I want to do in range 0 to incoming. So I want to basically iterate through the list now. So I'm going to, if if incoming list I, it should be a 1. not equal, or basically if it's equal to 0. Sorry about that. So basically if a 1 is on the left and a 0 is on the right, but a 0 is our first index, then we basically want to swap the two. Okay, so now we're basically just saying that we're setting a temporary number in memory to whatever the current index is. And then we're taking, oh, this should actually be and. I'm thinking about Java. And basically we're taking this here and we're setting the current index to the index to come, and then we're setting the index to come to the temporary number. Basically just swapping these two numbers here. So now what I want to do is I want to add a count to the overall number swap. So swap num is equal to 0, and swap num is plus equal to 1. And I want to continue this loop. So else, this would be the opposite. So um, we would just continue. So basically, if it's not a 1 on the left and a 0 on the right, we would basically just continue and go to the next one. Terminal here. Uh, oh crap, 1 second. That should be, let me just run it here. Like that. You can see here we have an error for the very last one. And what that error is because for the index is out of range because our for the very last number, the very last iteration, um, we simply can't run this one right here. So what we actually have to do is, if it's the last, if I pretty much, let me just write it, else, else if I is equal to to the length of the incoming list, then we would just continue. We should actually swap that around. This should be an else if, and this should be an if, because we want this to run first before this even gets ran. We should do that here as well. Okay, so now I'm basically returning the display list and the swap num because I actually want to display both of these just to show you. We have to actually swap the um, we have to iterate through the list repeatedly until we can actually check to make sure it happens for each time, like we iterate through the list. So first what we want to do is we want to basically iterate repeatedly through this list. So we're going to create another for loop for j, or we're just going to say while um, while keep going is, or while keep going pretty much is true because it's a boolean. And keep going is going to be up here as well. It's going to be set to true. And what we basically want to do is while keep going, we want to actually run this loop here. Same for this one. I want to say while keep going. So first let me set that. And what we want to do is we want to have another variable here, and this one's going to be well, really we can just set this one here like as a temp num here. You just say temp counter is equal to 0. And basically, as long as temp counter stays at 0, then basically at the end of this loop, we simply want to we also need to make here. So basically, if temp counter stays at 0 once this loop is done, then that means that there's no more um, swaps that need to happen. So basically, if temp counter equal to 0, then we would say keep going is equal to false, like that. And this is at the very end after the for loop is done and everything um, for both cases here. We just use Shift Tab to bring that back. Let's run it again. You can see now the list is sorted properly. You can see each time here that there are sorts that needed to happen. You can see each time the numbers were changing. So it's just a very quick algorithm to do. Um, I kind of made this video just like spontaneously. Like I was trying to make it in the morning, and I got distracted with a few things, so I was all over the place. But you get the point with this one. It's just very simple, something to get the brain working. I have a couple other ones that I want to do right now, and then like I have more in the future that I plan on doing. But I hope you actually got something from this, just to show you um, basically just like writing out a nice algorithm. One thing you want to do a lot is you want to have more comments for what's happening. I didn't really include many. I included a few here, but you definitely want to include more comments of like what's actually going on when you want to make it more readable for other developers and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time.